Rose, the beloved daughter of the main protagonist Ethan, is now a grown-up main character in this new story mode. In this sequel to the main story of Village, you can experience Rose's struggles with the terrifying powers she was born with. To break free of the curse of her powers, she enters the consciousness of the Megamycete.
First of all, well, mainly because there's a good chance that you might have actually missed out on it, we have Resident Evil Village Shadows of Rose DLC, a story-based content that will revolve around Rose Winters set 16 years after the events of the main game, and the fact that the game will now look very different and extremely hotter. Just check it out. To accompany the good news, the fine folks at the company also came out with a release date of October 28 and a new trailer too.
How will Rose find freedom from her mysterious powers? The DLC for Resident Evil Village Winter's expansion includes all 3 of these major additions. In addition, Resident Evil Village Gold Edition, a bundle of Winter's expansion with the base game, will be released simultaneously. The release date is planned for October 28, 2022.
Don't forget about our deal, Bahamut.
What's the catch?
Coming up behind that, Square Enix just came out and released a full-length new trailer for Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins new DLC going by Trials of the Dragon King, and a release date of July 20th, 2022. In case you should know, well, the new trailer over here does really provide a good look at the new events included, more characters, some new in-game options, and the fact that it's now releasing for all consoles and PCs too. Check it out.
Light, spill forth!
You've got some shine in you.
The witness seeks the final shape, and the final shape is nothing.
Coming up at number 3, since the release of The Witch Queen earlier in February this year, we have now Destiny 2's new DLC Lightfall, and due for release by the end of 2022, supposedly around November. The fine folks at the company trying to be very tight-lipped with this new content on the way, but to accompany the good news, they went on and released a new trailer, which is basically all we've got. Check it out in case you missed it.
Who are you? Don't you recognize us? We are not your friend. We are not your enemy. We are your salvation.
The witness is coming. The game is yours to play now.
These frail siblings will soon be claimed by light. Unless we claim them first, we will tell this comes in the cataclysm. Prophecy, great loss. We will feed the fear, the pride. We will slay the insecure.
it. I was born here, I live here, and downright refuse to die anywhere else. What the?
Alright guys, this just came our way by CD Projekt Red's CEO. We have seemingly the one and only expansion for Cyberpunk 2077. A story-driven DLC that'll deliver more characters, a new patch that will supposedly make the game bug-free once and for all, that it'll have around 7 new main missions, and that the entire development staff of the game are technically working on the whole thing. So just keep it in mind for now.
Coming here is a crash course in the survival of the fittest. The greediest, the most vile, and most corrupted gonks.
See this badge? That means I can do whatever the fuck I want.
But behind the blinding lights and all of the rot, you might just discover a beauty that can only be found here. Night City is full of love, friendships, and family ties that run deeper than any cyberware eddies can buy.
Zapper dumples and filth. In some ways, Night City never changes.
Which one's your favorite? Mine's Tracer. She's like, cheers, love, the cavalry's here. You're one of those heroes, aren't you?
Before me, I see the future. Human. Machine.
You know there's more out there, don't you?
Even the best journeys end. But a new one is right around the corner.
Alright guys, the sequel to Blizzard's first-person shooter is on its way to consoles and PCs October 4 now, technically adding a bunch of new characters, more maps, a 5 versus 5 premise, and a whole lot more. In case you should know, there is one beta taking place since June 28 too, and the full game eventually releasing, like I mentioned earlier, October 4th this year for PCs, both generation of consoles, in addition to the Nintendo Switch. Check it out.
Yippee-ki-yay! Boom, baby!
Check me out. Do something!
Get in there. It takes a team to tango.
Up next it is Outriders World Slayer, basically the yearly dose of new upgrade options on the way. Technically I haven't played Outriders myself yet, so can't really get much into details deep, but technically you're having hands on more character abilities and passives, some new skins too, and I believe it'll take you down about 40 to 60 bucks. Last but not least, releasing June 23, basically next week. Check it out.
Let me show you how it's done. Yippee-ki-yay, mother...
THQ Nordic, on the other hand, just came out and revealed the new trailer for Destroy All Humans 2, Reprobed, technically the new DLC and how the split-screen co-op section works and all the multiplayer options too, which first of all apparently players will now have a separate minimap, which is a huge help. There will be more maps to play and just some in-game more content. Check it out, Reprobed releases now August 30th. It is a next generation console exclusive and coming to PCs too. And last but not least, we've got Resident Evil franchise's latest release of 2022, a multiplayer iteration that was announced around the same time with Village last year and now finally releasing October 28th. Not really much to talk about this one, except we know it'll consist of a new story campaign set after the events of Resident Evil Village, some multiplayer modes and other stuff like mercenaries, and basically will be playable mostly online. Check it out.